Right, and moving forward, Abhishek, as you said that there have been not many cases like this, but talking about ISIS, which is under the focus right now, this terror organization is known to carry out lone wolf attacks in multiple parts of the world, where you have a person who has been indoctrinated, he has been radicalized, given some kind of training, and then he goes into a particular nation to carry out a terror attack. And these lone wolf attacks become very, very difficult to crack for any agency, because we don't know how this individual would have come to India, what kind of links exist in India, what kind of porous border he would have used to get access to the Indian soil.
Clearly, and interesting part is that we have in past never heard of Russian soil being used as a launch pad for some terrorists to come into India. And
Yeah.
this is probably the first time that we are hearing such news that a person has tried in his modus operandi use Russian land as a launch pad from where he would be directly coming to India, or at least the target was India. So this is one of its own kind, the first probably. And so far, the information that we have, that Russian intelligence inputs, uh, because of the strong Russian intelligence input, the person was apprehended by the agencies. In his initial interrogation, he had accepted that he has come from Turkey. He has his loyalty to ISIS. He was trained by them. There has been communication through Signal and other Telegram or other telecommunication platforms with the higher authorities,
Yes.
or higher Amir of ISIS, with this person who has been arrested. And his next target was India. He was supposed to furnish his documents in Russia, and he was then supposed to come to India. This process would have not led him to be very much under the radar of any security agency, because we know there has been a lot of people to people traveling between India and Russia. Even in the dead of this COVID pandemic, there was a lot many flights going in between India and Russia. So there has been a lot of students going there, business persons going from India to Russia, and Russia to India. And probably in that shadow of good people to people connect, this person was planning to get into India and conduct that major terrorist strike on
Abhishek, please
particularly
stay with
some
us on the
individual
broadcast. I also want to bring in Lieutenant General Sanjay Kulkarni into the discussion. Sir, thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast. This terrorist who's been apprehended in Russia, Russians indicate that he was all set to carry out a terror attack here in India, most likely on a leading political dignitary. How do you see this arrest, and what kind of cooperation can we expect from the Russians? More importantly, what kind of alarm bells does it send for India?
Two things. First, of course, the kind of, the relationship that we have with Russia has actually, we have a whole cultural links, and we've had a very nice relationship. And that's one of the reasons why the Russian agency could at least now, unless the Russian Federal Security Service hadn't done this, you'd have had this ISIS man recruited in Turkey, or Turkish this thing come into India, because obviously you now see around India also the kind of the Al-Qaeda activities, or the ISI activities, and the ISIS activities, all of them are now slowly and steadily finding their work. And with the Chinese intervention, you find a lot of these activities taking place, because you obviously have China's involvement in Afghanistan, you have China's involvement with Pakistan, you have China's own backyard, Xinjiang, having a problem. And the ISIS by itself is nothing but an offshoot of Al-Qaeda, which has sprung up sometime around 2014, mid of 2014. Yeah. And that is the reason why we find, but I'm glad at least he was nabbed, and that it also shows the kind of, turbulence that is within the country also. So much so that these people are able to find some logistic support within India. They have those people cells working within India. And I think our agencies are also very, very up to it. And we have to be very cyber is one thing we really need to watch out, and we keep
I also want to bring in Major General KK Sinha into the discussion. Major General Sinha, thank you so much for speaking to us. I'd reiterate that question, that what kind of warning sign does this arrest of a terrorist in Russia by the Russians really indicate for India?
See, this is a very significant development which is taking place and a concern for the security of India. The Russian FSS, Federal Security Service, when they have, actually apprehended this Sedai. He's a suicide bomber, recruited in Central Asian Republic, recruited through Turkey, and Turkey has got a link with Pakistan. And this chap is trying to actually get sneaked in India through Russia. Maybe it's through the Russian airlines. He wanted to have a destination to India and targeting a top leader somewhere, in India. Now, what is so significant about this development? See, in Russia itself, if you remember a few days back, about 3 days back, Alexander Gilesevich Dugin's daughter, Darya Dugin, she was eliminated into the car bombing outside the suburbs of Moscow. He is Alexander, Dugin is a very, very noted man in Russia. He is the Putin's brain. He is the, he is a war mastermind. This thing has happened. Now, why I'm bringing out and linking up with this to Russian FSS to Indian, top leader. So this is, development, because earlier what was happening in Indian subcontinent in the form of ISIS, whether it is Indian subcontinent, Al-Qaeda, Indian subcontinent, or Khorasan, IS Khorasan getting a foothold in India. These were happening, that was basically targeting, even that time the target was like this. During, they targeted during, even they wanted to have a target during we have our Independence Day celebration.
Yes.
During that time they wanted to have.
Yes.
Now when this is happening, this is very, very, dangerous sign.
Yeah.
Because there is a linkages of China in this. See, you must understand what happened in Japan. Shinzo Abe has been eliminated. Still the things are going on. The way that, what they are trying to do in Taiwan with the top leadership. Now with the Indian top leader, they want to do it because who is targeting what?
Yeah.
Someone, it is not only that you see the linkages has become slightly more broader.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
India has to proactively try to
And Major General Sinha, as you're rightly saying, the linkages have become broader. These lone wolf attacks which are being carried are very, very difficult and tricky to carry out. I want to go back to my colleague Abhishek Jha, who's been tracking this story. Lieutenant General Sanjay Kulkarni, Major General K.K. Sinha have got as their expert voices on the show. We'll try and connect with Abhishek in just a bit, but that's one attack that was planned in India and has been foiled by the Russians. Let me quickly check if Lieutenant General Sanjay Kulkarni is with us on the broadcast. Lieutenant General Kulkarni, one of the key things that worry us Indians is the fact that the manner in which things have changed, say in Afghanistan, what is happening in China's backyard, the linkage with China that also Major General K.K. Sinha was talking about. How critical do these geopolitical factors become as far as India's anti-terror policy is concerned?
Absolutely critical. That now, when you talk about the hybrid, you talk of all working the government and within the country also lots of activities and lots of, it's almost grey zones have almost gone. It's black or white. And in that black or white, these grey zones are functioning very well and they know exactly which side or how it is working. And hence, we have to be very, very alert. There is no denying the fact that our agencies are alert. We have to be in cooperation and in conjunction working with various international agencies. It is just that we have excellent relationship with Russia. That Russia was able to nab and be able to convey to India that someone amongst the government is on the target of this ISIS chap who's recruited in Turkey. Turkey is trying to find a...
Sir, sorry,